don't feel as a member of the press, because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I want you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press.
Nobody is arresting anything for being a member of the press, and I'm tired of people capping and pretending like that's the case. That's not the case.
The networks are down, the equipment is ready, and we've crippled their supplies. Mrs. Rackman has written our check and given us the green light.
That they were going to storm into a church and a place of faith, and they would have never done this had it not been a Christian place of faith. And they stormed into a church, and they interrupted people's worship service, which that's protected under the FACE Act. And they expected to have no consequences. First of all, freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences. So you are allowed to say whatever it is that you want to say, but there still are rules and parameters, even if you are a journalist, even if you are a member of the press, for you to have to abide by in order for you to be a law-abiding citizen. And you cannot, I repeat, you cannot storm into a place of worship, private property, and go in there and decide that you want to put a camera in people's faces, record people without their permission. This is not public property. It's not a public space. You can do that in a public space. You can record whatever you want, whenever you want to, and that's the other people's responsibility to ensure that they're not captured on camera. But when it comes to, and that's why when you leave a court building, or when you see people leaving after celebrities get arrested, then they try to cover their face after they're coming out and stuff like that. But you can't just storm into a building, especially a place of worship, and that is protected under the FACE Act. You cannot storm into a building and say, well, they trying to censor and do journalism. That's not true. You just don't want to be accountable for your actions, and just because you got a camera don't mean that you can do so. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that under the Trump administration, it's been more freedom of press and freedom for journalists to be able to do the things that they want to do and capture, document, and give their opinion than ever before. What we experienced, and this is funny because when Elon Musk bought Twitter, and before he changed it over to X, he released the censorship that had been going along before he ever got there, right? That they had been censoring people on the right and conservatives to try to prevent them from being able to have their opinion and say what they want to say. And they had been being kicked off the platforms. The president himself had been kicked off the platforms prior to him launching his presidency again. And not only that, they tried to censor him and they tried to throw him in jail over these trumped-up charges that wasn't relevant, nor wasn't really anything for him to say, to try to prevent him, obviously, from becoming president again. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we have more freedom to say and do the things that we want to say and do more than ever before. Yet they are still complaining that they are being censored because they don't want to be held accountable for storming the church. That's bullshit.
My mom is being arrested for documenting what happened at City Church. And this is wrong.
That you?
This goes against her First Amendment right
driverless taxis have got a big PR campaign
today.
Going, so we need to hit them where it hurts. Right in the bad publicity. Ruined rep? No funding. No funding, no surveillance. No surveillance, no dirt on you.
Anything today.
First, you gotta break into the No-Wait Depot, take control of their cars, and wreak havoc. Destroy their billboards, crash, wreck their cars, make a scene. Then get the hell out of there. Total carnage all over Snapmatic. You do it right, their stock price will tank by sundown. I'll pay you. Got a chunk of unmarked cash. Untraceable, I promise. Just go.
And I wonder if at any point any of these people actually apologize to the parishioners, the members, the ministers, the pastors of this church, of this unfounded claim of one of the members actually being an ICE officer. I wonder if any of them actually apologize for these people storming into these churches, or is it just business as usual? Because I guarantee you they haven't. I guarantee you that none of them have actually taken accountability for how they disrupted, documented, and ruined other people's lives. And we don't know how the church is affected. We don't know how those people's lives are affected. We don't even like the fact that they can't be comfortable with the idea that they can go and worship in peace. It's just flat out disrespectful. And anybody saying otherwise don't respect God, don't respect the church, and don't even respect our laws. There are laws on the books that prevent you from doing such a thing, and they should be held accountable as a result of it.
And hold it by ourselves. This is not a black people or white people or religion or age or any of these things. We are fighting for human rights.
This moment will pass, and we will be better for it.
Bro, that's the Somali guy.
We're in the fight. We're not leaving the fight. And I'm going to let you know we are winning. Because what they did to Georgia Ford will not stand in any American court system or to Don Lemons. So I ask every single one of you in this moment, be outraged, but be organized.
I'd like to talk about a protest today. I don't know if you can see my face.
We can.
I have done crime in my life. I've been to jail. Not for a long period, but I've been. And when I came out, I wasn't mad at the cops. I did the crime at the time. So I did the time. And also, looking at my face, you have to know that I've also protested in my life. So, with all of the craziness going on, you also have to remember that we exist within the context. You didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. And in the context of being an American in 2026, we've realized that Americans are extremely vulnerable to false definitions and category errors. So, when it comes to the definition of a protest is when you disagree with a policy, or you disagree with a politician, and you go outside of a government building and you make your voice heard to the politicians who may be inside that building. That's what a protest is. Showing up armed at random places to impede law enforcement is not a protest. We are at the point now where we have to look at this and be honest. That is a rebellion against your own government. Okay? You do not show up armed, threatening police officers. You can't just expect nothing bad to happen to you at that point. You've signed up for a really bad situation to get worse. And you're not helping anyone. Okay? You're hurting your own people. So please stop lying. Stop lying about what a protest is and isn't. This is not a protest. This is a coordinated effort to destroy America by communists and morons who do not understand anything about reality and do not understand that the people here want to live under laws. We have laws in this fucking country. Okay? Because everybody wants to talk about a social contract all the time. That's part of the social contract. That you obey the law and you let the cops arrest people when they need to arrest people. Then you sort out your case. That's how it works. You don't sit there and litigate what's going on in the moment. And you definitely don't run up on a bunch of legal police officers making them feel unsafe, because you forget that those are people too, by showing up armed and yelling at them and having your stupid sirens playing and playing your little drum. That's not how you deal with this situation. So you'll notice, looking at my face, that I'm obviously not your normal type of man, but I'm still alive. After all of the things that I've done in my life. Think about how. Because I'm not an idiot. So really, just use your reasoning. If you have any left.
This is not rocket science. Even he has been able to communicate effectively and say, hey, listen, we all know exactly what we do and what we doing it, and we not confused, and we know exactly what we doing as far as a rebellion that we see taking place, because this is not peaceful protesting. Let me know what you guys think inside of the Patreon. T10, 40% off the first order, 20% off for life. I always like to link back to the content creators. I love y'all. Appreciate you. I'm going to let you guys later. Peace.